Today, the second day of Iyar, is the birthday of the Rebbe Marash. The Rebbe Marash's life motif, dictum was Lechatchila Ariba. But before I explain this, let us Lechatchila first say a chapter of Tehillim for our dear brethren all over the world. And the Rebbe used to help that we should not have to say Tehillim in a prayerful way, but we should say Tehillim in a rejoiceful that everything is good. So Shir Lamale says, "Eina yelahorim ayni of Yezri, Ezrim im adenu oise shemayim ve'oretz, al yitelam v'yitraglecha al yonim shemrecha, yinei lo yonim v'lishon shomi Yisrael, adenu shemrecha adenu tzilcha al yad yeminecha yom Hashem ish lo yakeko, v'yoreach ba'loilo adenu yishmochu mikol ro yishmor es nafshecha, adenu yishmor tzeitzcho v'yecho mi'ato v'yad oilom." Let us give some tzedakah. And let me explain what I just started saying about the Rebbe Marash, Reb Shmuel, the fourth of the Lubavitch dynasty, Rebbes, and what is this whole idea of Lechatchila Ariba. Ask you a question. What do you do when life gets really tough? When something or someone is just making you miserable? Or when your inner self is creating its own barriers that stop you from progressing? Some people, when a challenge seems to be too overwhelming to confront, they just avoid it. The Rebbe Marash takes a different approach, and he would say, the world says, if you cannot crawl under an obstacle, try going over it. And I say, to begin with, you go over it. What does it mean, going over it, in a practical way? Now, a story is sometimes the best explanation. So let me share with you a story of the Rebbe Marash, of this whole concept of Lechatchila Ariba. In the years 1879, 1880, there was a considerable rise of anti-Semitism throughout Russia. Many cities and towns, the enemies of the Jewish people, incited the local populations to carry out pogroms against the Jewish communities. The Rebbe Marash once again traveled to St. Petersburg to try to stop this new wave of persecution. He had many personal friends and acquaintances among government officials, princes and nobles, and they assured him that the anti-Semitic campaign will be stopped. But unfortunately, shortly after that, pogroms once again broke out, particularly in Kiev and in Yezh. The Rebbe Marash, who had just returned from a visit abroad, in connection with the problems of the Jewish communities, he once again set out for the Russian capital, and with the aid of a certain Professor Burtonson, who he was the court physician of the Tsar, he was able to obtain an immediate audience with the Minister of Interior. The Rebbe, in his meeting with this minister, went so far as to reproach the minister for not having kept his word to suppress the anti-Semitic outbreaks. And he made it clear that continued failure to do so would create a very bad image of the Russian government among the highest circles in foreign countries. During the meeting, the Rebbe Marash mentioned that he received letters from many personalities and bankers in other countries who had international influence, and they all wanted to know what attitude they were to take in view of the sad news concerning the plight of the Jews in Russia, and what they could do to be of help and protect the property and the Jewish people in Russia. The minister asked, "And what was your reply?" The Rebbe told him, "I didn't answer yet. I delayed my reply till I will receive a positive assurance in this matter from the Russian government." The minister said, "Rebbe of Lubavitch, do you dare to intimidate the Russian government with threats of the power of foreign capitalists? Are you threatening a revolution in this country?" The Rebbe looked at him and said, "Your Excellency does not have to interpret my words as an attempt at intimidation. Regard them rather as a serious fact to be reckoned with. for this concern is shared by capitalists and great men, even of the non-Jewish world, who are shocked by such barbaric and inhuman outbreaks as have occurred here. And regarding the second question, it appears to me that it is the negligent and weak conduct of the imperial government in the past that could now bring about a revolution in this country. That very evening, when the Rebbe came back to his hotel, he was informed by the government that he was under arrest. 2 policemen stood guard at the entrance to his room for 2 days. But on the 3rd day, he was called before the Minister of the Interior, given a positive reply to his request, and freed from his imprisonment. This is lechatchila ariba, meaning where I do not stop for any barriers. We have that capability. So friends, lechatchila ariba, over the barriers of exile, straight into the Geula with Mashiach now.